Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking about Xela technologies. I like to talk about the sticker before. You'll find my previous video in the description below. Today we're going to be talking about due diligence updates, news, and technical analysis, followed on with what I think about this one, at least what's going to happen in the next few days. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Xela technologies. We talked about this one just in case you haven't heard about this one itself. They mentioned that they are a global leader in business process automation, and they're constantly refining their technologies and developing ideas to better serve more than 4,000 customers in more than 50 countries. We continue clashing systems, upgrade inefficient processes, and provide customized insights that they need or people need to elevate their organization. So that's a little bit more vague, but they do work with different industries, including healthcare, high tech, insurance, legal, consumer and retail, banking, the list goes on. The latest news comes out of July 7th. Xela Technologies reports significant boost to cash and cash equivalent to over $255 million and remains on path of deleverage. So $85 million raised under the $150 million at the market offering. The program was launched on June 30th, 2021. Proceeds will primarily be used to reduce the debts and lower associated annual interest expense by approximately $25 million and fund growth opportunities in line with the previously announced strategic initiatives. $205 million of cash and cash equivalents are on hand as of June 30th, 2021, not including the additional borrowing availability under credit facilities. So that itself is massive because we did talk about in my last video relating towards the 100 million and 150 million at the market's offerings in the program, and as we get to see, we have around 205 million total and still have some room there because you have around $65 million left for the at the market equity program that was launched on June 30th, 2021. Just to give you an insight, that $205 million alone in cash, their market cap is around 186 million. So that means just based on the amount of cash they have alone is more than their entire market cap. So in theory, they can just buy an entire stock and go private, but they're not going to do that. But in a sense, we're just trying to show you that if you were to buy into the stock at this level, for instance, the amount of cash they have is higher than the stock price you had if you were to divide it by per share. So that's a very interesting observation relating to the price over cash. So as well, Xela Technologies announces a completion of the $100 million at the market program enters to the new $150 million program. So that's what I was mentioning. The $100 million program was announced on May 27th, so it took around a month. And that's why a lot of the prices points started to decrease a little bit and slump. But you get to see that with the new relations that they're saying, hey, we have a lot of cash as expected. A lot of people are forgiving it and bringing it back upwards. Now, retail itself have seemed to be very bullish onto this one, trying to push it as much. Some bigger accounts have been mentioning it, but I'm just going to leave that for you to read if you would like. Now, in terms of news, yes, that is the latest one, but we have some SEC filings updates, my bad. So before moving on, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right corner and turn the bell notification button. Don't forget to drop a like to this video as well. And if you would like to chat with me and others that are very helpful on Discord, you can do so in the description below. Totally free. We're not trying to upsell you on anything there. So again, this is some related towards the news of the $205 million cash. Xela Technologies also announced the 100 million, 150 million program. So all that is part of history. The remaining SEC filing that seems to be the most latest, and I believe I covered this one already, was around the 30th of June. And they do have a passage there talking about how they're going to use the proceeds. So they're talking about the $150 million one because there's no minimum offering amount required as a condition to close the offering. The actual total public offering amount and the commission to proceed to us, if any, are not determined at this time. There may be no assurance that we will sell any shares of our common stock under or fully utilize the sales agreement. We intend to use the net proceeds from the sale of this common stock offered by this prospectus supplement, if any, the purchase of retirement debt that may include debt outstanding under the $1 billion aggregate principal amount of 10%, first priority senior notes that will mature on July 15th, 2023, 350 million senior secured term loans with initial applicable margin of 7.5%, etc. Any remaining net proceeds will be used for general corporate purposes, including funding of our development program, commercial planning, sales and marketing expenses, general administrative expenses, acquisitions or licensing of additional products, candidates, or business or working capital. We have not determined the specific amounts of the net proceeds to be used for such purpose. As a result, our management will retain broad discretion over the allocation of the net proceeds from the sale of the shares of our common stock offered by this prospectus supplement. Now, in terms of buyers, things are looking very interesting because as we get to see relating towards buyers, the majority of them have been selling ever since even May. The latest one was today. State Street Core liquidated their entire position. Definitely an interesting thing seeing even bigger names like Morgan Stanley, Royal Bank of Canada, Invesco, Vanguard, etc., Goldman Sachs liquidating all the way back in May. But let's still stay optimistic a little bit and take a look into technical analysis. But before then, you get to see that Shahada Par sold some of their shares at $1.57 on the 3rd or on the 1st of July, announced on the 3rd of July. Let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, in relations towards the technical analysis on the 1 month, 1 day perspective, we start seeing that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is a very bullish thing to see. And the price point is above the 50 SMA at $1.73. In terms of the ADX, the average directional index is sitting at 3569, suggesting that this is a very strong trend. The volume percent R is very closer towards the overbought section, which is very bullish in that sense that it's not actually overbought at this level, and it has really strong momentum. The MACD here seems to be a little bit retracting, or at least holding its level at this level, so we're not really saying that this is a chance of a reversal, but it could be possible in the next week or so. Momentum, you get to see that the momentum is very bullish at 159. The stochastic fast and stochastic slow both are suggesting that there might be another leg up as they're pinpointing upwards. Now the current Bollinger Bands, which is a momentum volume average bands, you get to see the top is at 312 and the bottom is at 61 cents, so expect for it to trade within that region for at least the next few days. And if you were looking into the Fibonacci retracements, and the reason why I'm highlighting this one is because high frequency traders use it. Current support is sitting at 279, below there $1.23. Resistances 375, 453, 530, 641, and 782. In terms of a price line action, you're seeing a very, very strong support sitting closer towards the 280 level. Below there, you're looking down towards the 262, going downwards to 239, going downwards to 215, going downwards to 177, going a bit downwards to around 164, downwards to around 144 and 123. Significant resistances are around 310, above there 339, above there going upwards to closer to 391, going up to 411, 462, and then up to, honestly, if it goes to 462 right away, it can easily go to around 553 and then up to 612 and 782, and I'm not sure where it's going to stop. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? First off, in terms of analyst ratings, the only price target given was 465 around a year ago with a buy position with a person with a success rate of around 48%. So there's not a lot of analyst coverages, there's not a lot of institutional interest relating to this one. And the main reason why it's staying afloat is because retail is looking at it and saying, hey, this is a company that is raising a lot of money or a lot of cash compared to their market cap. By the way, the market cap of $186 million, I really doubt that it has in mind the new amount of shares. So these needs to be updated. So in technicality, it could be 100 plus 150 So around 250 million, additional to around the 186 that it has around 450 million more of the market cap, with the cash being around 200-ish million. So don't take that to stone, but it looks like, based on their fundamentals, the information might not be the most accurate, but it seems that in retail itself are very bullish onto this one, and for that I do expect high volatility movement, perhaps even trying to go ahead and break again the 341 or the $4, but it's a very risky move in my own perspective, and it's really moving on hype rather than solid fundamentals. The fundamentals are not bad, but it's harder to get for this company, for whatever reason, accurate information. What do you think about the ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.